Welcome to another episode of 840 Customs. Today we're working on the Buick, and particularly working on the center console. Last week we installed the center console out of an Impala SS. It's great, fits in there okay. We just need to modify some things. So we want to put a gate shifter in the console. So we 3D printed an insert. We moved the cup holders, did all that kind of stuff, 3D printed this. If you want more information on how to do the 3D printing side of this and the modeling, leave us a comment down below. We will make sure that we document that in the future. We're going to go ahead and pull the center console out of the car. We're going to clean it up. We're going to cut out this hole, and we're going to fiberglass this guy in. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take this console out. Last week we installed this. This is out of an Impala SS. We got the mounts for this and welded it to the tunnel, just how it would be factory. We did do a change where we put M6x1 screws holding these together instead of those standard sheet metal screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out with this. This goes way down in here. We'll pull the two bolts and then everything. Okay. So what we did is we got this and it was damaged like most of these consoles are. So we 3D printed these filler panels. These are all printed out of PETG, which are gonna not warp in the heat and they're gonna hold up. There's also one here. And this fits perfectly inside this hole and just replaces the holes that were broken. So this should come right out. Let's go cut it up. What we're gonna do is start cutting this out piece by piece, small amounts, until we can get this guy to fit in here. So we kind of have an idea of where we're gonna cut. We just need to cut on the inside of that, and then we'll creep up so this fits perfectly. All right, we're gonna go ahead and use our Dremel. We're gonna make sure we cut this thing on the inside of the line that we have marked, and then we'll widen it to make sure that we can fit our 3D print. Okay, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these 3D printed parts and we're gonna put it in here, and then we're gonna trace our line all the way around. Make sure that that line is the same, and our holes should line up down here. As long as all our marks line up, we can go ahead and get this guy in there. So I changed my plan up a little bit. I put the console back in the car and I lined up the rear bolts, and then I lined up the front bolts with the 3D print. So this is now aligned. You can see the holes through the 3D print. We're gonna go ahead and mark all of this all the way around, and then we'll trim up to that. All right, so we have a pretty clear line of where we're gonna cut up to, and then we'll just trim all this out, smooth it in, and then this will sit flush. Alright, so we got the insert cut out. This is the factory ABS. This is our 3D print. We marked all this in the car, and this is fitting pretty close. So all we're gonna do now is we're gonna start with a sanding wheel, and we're just gonna inch out until this fits in here. And then I'm probably gonna pull this trim off. We'll heat staple everything together, and then we'll fiberglass in the back. Here. Okay, a little down here on the bottom. A little right here. Just a little bit up here too. Okay, front is all good. Let me just open this up a little barely there. And then Be able to pull some right here. You can see this process is a lot of back and forth. Okay. I think that's gonna work for us. It's a little tight, but that's good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bolt this up into the car. We'll make sure that all of these bolt up correctly, and then we will attach the two with some heat staples, and then we can take it out, reinforce it, and put it back in later. All right, so we got everything bolted up. This is bolted into the car. This is bolted into the car. Now I just need to join these two pieces together. I'm gonna do that with a heat stapler. So this just gets really hot. It's basically a short. You put these little staples into the gun, and then you push the staple into the plastic, and it sets the two pieces together. We'll put a couple of these on top, and then we'll pull the whole thing out and put a bunch more on the bottom, and then fiberglass it. These are set. We're gonna go ahead and pull the whole console out. You can see kind of how the gate shifter is gonna sit in here. So it's sitting pretty much right like this. It's gonna be right in the right spot. We do have to make a bracket to mount this to the floor, but it does fit in here, and it basically will sit just like this, and the ball will just barely miss the console. We got it out of the car. There's a few staples on the top, and that's just to locate everything. And then we'll go into here, we'll heat staple a bunch in here to make it really strong, and then we'll fiberglass reinforce it. Finished reinforcing the bottom of this with heat staples. Everything is looking good. It's nice and sturdy in here. What we're gonna do now is just fiberglass the back to make sure that these two pieces are one piece. That they're not gonna come apart, they're not gonna crack or fail or anything like that. We already put this back in the car to make sure that the bolt holes line up. We can't bolt this back in the car. Everything is nice and crisp. At this point, we're just reinforcing the part, and then we can go on to finish work. The first step in fiberglass process of preparing your materials, what I like to do is cut up all of my mat first, make sure that everything's good. That way when I have the resin going, I can just work through the material I have, and then I'm not trying to cut material while the resin's curing and a bunch of stuff like that. So cut the mats all up and then start doing the resin. Got all the fiberglass laid up. I lost you kind of in the middle there, but it's hardening. This is, it's warmed up quite a bit. It is starting to cure. We're just gonna let this sit for a little while, let it harden up. I'm gonna trim off some of the stuff that I didn't fully resin, and then we'll flip it over, we'll do the body work on the other side, and that way it'll all look like one single piece. So we are going to work on the top of this now. While the underside is curing, it's all pretty much like tacked up, it's not gonna move. We're gonna go ahead and start putting our filler on top. I'm gonna start with a fiberglass filler, just to kind of create the basic structure, and fill, maybe there's a couple little gaps right here. it'll kind of fill those in, and then we're gonna go back with metal glaze on the top and kind of fill it all in. We'll body work everything, make sure it's all nice and clean, and then we'll go and we're gonna paint this. I don't know if we're gonna get to it this video, but we should be at a point where it is all one shape, one piece, and it looks like it was supposed to be like that. Alright, so we sanded down all of the fiberglass filler. I just used 80 grit just to kind of rough it out. It also gives us some tooth on our 3D print for the metal glaze, which is going to be a softer, more finish specific filler. We're going to go ahead and put that on. We're going to sand it with a lighter grit just to get it all really nice. And then we'll go ahead and put a coat of paint on this thing. Alright, we're wrapping up for the day. It is a little too cold to be painting this today, so we're just going to leave it in bodywork, and next time we will come back and paint it and make sure that everything's good. But you can see just how different this is going to be. It is perfect. This shifter is in the right spot. I still got to run the cabling and mount the shifter. This is just kind of sitting in here. We move the cup holders forward, still accessible. It doesn't hit the dash. And then the armrest and the trim ring are going to get wrapped in suede to match the dash. So I'm still torn if I want to do a textured black on the console or if I want to do the same gray that's in the engine compartment. Leave me a comment below what you guys think. I do want to change these seats out eventually with a nice reclining race seat with harnesses and stuff. But for now, this will work fine. If you have any questions, please comment. We'll make sure to answer anything that you guys have. We're looking forward to bringing you some more content soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.